Hi there, my name is Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So HBO Max paid a lot of money to be able to air Doctor Who seasons, the 2005 season, right up until season 11 on their streaming service exclusively. Which I feel that they got kind of gypped. I think for what they paid, they should have got all classic Doctor Who and season 12. Really? Well, honestly, I don't know what they paid, but I imagine it's quite a lot because they managed to pull together 3 actors who played the Doctor and to do this promotional piece. Now, I have to tell you, I was actually kind of like, what's the word? Touched. I was a bit nostalgic when I saw this because this kind of like fluffy promotional piece, and they mentioned HBO Max like every given opportunity. Go, where would you watch HBO? HBO Max, HBO Max. They mentioned it all the time. But this kind of fluff promotional piece, is clearly promotional piece, used to be a #1 source of fanish information for whatever your favorite genre show was. Now it's kind of like it's a bit of fluff, but I tell you, I've got a lot of respect for HBO Max because they are genuinely trying to woo the fan, which I like a lot. I like anybody trying to be nice to me. So yeah, I think they can be forgiven for not knowing that the current actress who plays the Doctor isn't overly loved. this incarnation isn't overly loved in the world because they just got the regular actor, but they got her, they got David Tennant, and they got Matt Smith. So essentially, you got a Doctor Who fan, a Normie, Matt Smith, and a Karen talking about Doctor Who with incredibly predictable results. Now, before we get into it, I'm going to say 2 things. If you're a fan of this era and you love this era, God bless you. I love it. I absolutely love that you loved it. Now, listen, I've been in fandom for donkey's years, since the 80s, since I was a kid. And we've always had times when people hated this era and they liked this era. We've always had, these like, very, very emotional divisions in fandom because we really, really genuinely care about it. But we've never had before a group of fans who say that you people who disagree with us, you people should be silenced and you should be removed from the world. Which I just feel is the overwhelming impression I get from fans of the current era. So there's a good chance they're going to be really mad at me just for making this video. Last time I did a video, somebody actually reported me my video fraudulently for a copyright claim, which it clearly, what can you do? Crazy people are crazy people, and they just don't like anybody speaking things they don't like. They are basically the fascist totalitarians that they keep saying they are anti. But yeah, who knows? Anyway, so yeah, that being said, if you love it, God bless you. I'm happy if you love it. We can all get along. It's fine. Can I ask you guys, can you hit that subscribe button? That'll be fantastic. I would like to get my subscribers up. That'll be great. Yeah, just in general, I would like to get them up. If you subscribe, you can enter my weekly competitions, which I'm going to give to the giveaway tonight. This is about 4 or 5 days late, so I'm giving this one away tonight. It's got Judge Dredd, the complete crime files. Tonight I'm giving away a really good DVD set, like a really good one. So, not giving away. I'm starting the competition tonight. So, all you need to do to win this is subscribe to the channel, and this has got some great stories in it. Subscribe to the channel, and in the comments, leave the hashtag Death Lives. So it's again. This is Thursday, the 25th of June. It's being given away tonight on my live stream, which is 5 o'clock UK time, noon. On the East Coast of America. Fine, let's get to this video. And I think this interview is just it's so what you would expect on so many levels. It's really, quite incredible. So as I cut the interview out mainly because he just kind of struck me as like this fake geek girl, and those things just really gets under my skin. I've never been a fan of the fake geek girl. I think maybe she's a real one. I don't know, she just feels to me like she's a fake one. I don't know her, don't know anything about her, but I've cut her questions just so we can cut this down a little bit, make it a bit quicker. So the first question she asks is, to the Doctors, what was it like having this event happen? This interview this unprecedented interview with 3 Doctors. And I will note, Peter Capaldi is not there. Peter Capaldi, I can imagine being in full Mike Tucker mode. If you're not going to heaven, I can totally imagine him saying screw you. But maybe not. Maybe he was just like busy that day. Who knows or dares to dream? So let's see. So the first question was, what's it like being in this interview? Make sure the sound's turned up, and let's press play.
It's a bit fiddly because it's technology based. I wish it was kind of like more of a high five and a hug scenario.
Look, darling, it's a Zoom meeting, okay? It's a Zoom meeting. This is part of life in 2020. Everybody knows how to do a Zoom meeting, and that's flummoxing you. It just seems you're putting too much of yourself in the role as a doctor. If this is confusing you, I'm kind of understanding why you're so clueless as a doctor. You're really putting a lot of maybe you should try what's called acting and pretending to be other people who aren't, like, flummoxed at technology.
But it is a pleasure for people other than the people I live with, so it's an absolute thing. It's almost like a social night out.
So, that would have made sense, I would say, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, but I think, it seems to be lockdown's kind of easing up. They're talking about opening the pubs. Once they open the pubs, forget it. Lockdown is over until, the apocalypse comes.
Yeah, it'd be more fun if we were actually together right now. I would enjoy that enormously. But it's nice to see some face in cyberspace.
It's very technical technology. It just, which I shouldn't really say that as a former doctor, but I find it very unnerving.
So you see, okay, this is proof that the heart is the captain of the ship in terms of, like, your psychological profile. I just really hate what Jodie Whittaker's done with the role, and anything she says, I'm like, rah! Then Matt Smith said basically the same thing, and I loved his take on the role. I just loved him in the role, and I'll be like, oh, that's so sweet. So yeah, the heart is indeed the captain of the ship. Okay, so we're on to the next question. Is should there be some kind of, like, ex-Doctor WhatsApp group or Facebook group, like, exclusively for people who have played the Doctor? So and they were quite concerned that it exists, and they're not on it. So see what they have to say.
We've tried to make that happen. Yeah,
you can be admin. Why don't you be admin?
Oh, don't make me admin. Sylvester McCoy's definitely admin.
See, I would have said Peter Davison. Peter Davison strikes me as admin. Seth McCoy strikes me as, like, he used to, like, put ferrets down his trousers as a street performer, essentially. Yeah, he seems a bit of an anarchist. He doesn't seem to be somebody who's, like, so wrapped up in times and rules and schedules. Peter Davison strikes me like a very average bloke. I can see him being an admin, but that's an interesting insight, which I'm kind of glad we got all three of these doctors here to tell us.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, what's the question? How has being Doctor Who changed your life? How has being Doctor Who changed your life? Good question. Let's hear what it's got to say.
I mean, there's what you expect, and there's what it actually feels like, I suppose. I mean, I think growing up in Britain, you're very aware that Doctor Who has been ubiquitous for all of our lives. Even when it wasn't on TV, it was still one of those sort of cultural things that was just kind of around in a way that...
the interesting thing about this is Matt Smith grew up without there being a doctor, and he says that for a lot of time with interview. He grew up, so he didn't really have that cultural weight on him. It's kind of like this old thing that he knew about. But David Tennant is a massive Doctor Who fan, so for him, I imagine it was very weighty on him.
I think that's sort of spread around the world now, but certainly.
Well, it did until it withered on the vine, but when Jodie came in.
When I was young, Doctor Who was just one of those things that was there. So when you realise it's your turn, you're getting a go at it, you do kind of know what that means in terms of a sort of certain loss of anonymity and a fact that the first...
Well, I mean, I think David knew more than anyone. Again, being such a massive Doctor Who fan and coming in, I think he probably started to come in as season 1, 2005 season started where, and it was so successful. So I think he had a real idea where he was going with it, and like I don't think he knew it was going to go through the stratosphere as it really did with him. But I think he had some idea just because he knows what the character is.
Of your obituary has almost certainly been written, but I think that's different to knowing what it feels like to kind of suddenly be carrying that around. It's a huge privilege, and also feels very precious because people love it so much.
So I want to know. Listen, I know him and Jodie Whittaker are friends, and they're both in the same profession. But David Tennant's also a massive Doctor Who fan, so it puts him in a really weird position. Like, it's the same thing with Nicholas Briggs. I think they're just in a really weird position that a very good friend of yours has done something that's objectively awful to Doctor Who, just through massive incompetence, and like I don't know what to say. I don't know what he's saying. Is he trying to vaguely say something? I don't know. I really, genuinely don't know. I can see why some people interpret it that way. I can see why others would not.
It means so much to people all through their lives that to be the custodian of that for a while, you just don't want to break it. You just want to make sure that.
Yeah, that's it. That just seems awkward because she really has broken it, hasn't she? I mean, I don't think I can't think of another era like this. I mean, maybe Colin Baker after his second year, Trial of the Time Lord. I mean, yeah, I just don't know. I think the ire against in that era that fandom had for the makers of Doctor Who was more aimed at John Nathan Turner than any actor. But here I think I just think it's a real combination of Whittaker and Chibnall has broken Doctor Who. They haven't taken that responsibility that Tennant here is talking about. It's just, I don't know, him mentioning it in front of it just seems so kind of obvious to me, right?
But it remains as special and precious and as exciting for the next generation as it did to yours, I guess.
No, it's not. That's why we're all so upset. That's why we're all so upset. She killed something. Her and Chibnall killed something because of their I would say their obnoxious ideology. They killed something that was genuinely precious, that went through generations, and because they wanted to very, very badly make some extreme extreme ideological points, which they don't think is extremist. They don't think parroting Greta Thunberg is extremist. Really, the reason that the whole climate change lobby, and this is not comment on climate change, but the reason they chose Greta Thunberg because she's somebody they think is immune from any form of criticism. And for me, if somebody suffers from a sporadic muteness and all the other psychological problems she has, maybe I won't be listening to her on how to change the whole freaking world. I don't think I'll listen to a 14-year-old on that in general. Honestly, I don't think I'll listen to a 30-year-old either. It seems quite fair to me. Okay, let's carry on.
I once had someone shout when I was walking down the street and I hadn't shot a single frame, "Don't break Doctor Who!"
Yeah, because people don't want you to break it, Jodie. People don't want you to break it because it's kind of important. It's kind of important to a lot of people. And look at her face there. Look how she's like, hey, I broke Doctor. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. Oh my God, that's so obnoxious. It was, look at me, I've broken Doctor. Do you think she knows? Do you think she knows she's broken Doctor Who? I think they must be keeping it from her. But really? Honestly, how stupid do you have to be to not know you broke Doctor Who? Like, how much do you have to have your head in the sand? Jodie, I think you're answering that question for us.
Do you know what? When I was announced, like obviously, and you haven't shot anything, have you? I got a girl in a cafe, and I was so excited. So I was like, "Here's my demographic."
And that's one of the reasons you're so freaking awful in the role. Your demographic should be everybody. Oh my God! Could you imagine? If Tom Baker saw a little girl and he was like, "Oh, that's not my demographic. I don't care." How disgusting! How stupid are you? I'm looking at how bloody stupid you are.
16, and she went, "I really wanted Ben Whishaw."
You see, that's the bottom line. Nobody freaking wants you. Or you know who wants you? Blue checkmarks on Twitter who have children that they want to show with the correct, stunning and brave TV. That's who want it. Like the blue checkmark mothers. That's who want it. Nobody else. Even Doctor Who fans don't really want you. I'm sorry. I was on board for it. I was totally on board for it. But the shite that you have done with this TV show, that you have done in the role, is just breathtakingly awful.
Yeah. He would have been great, Jodie. He would have been really good.
Well, I think he would have been better than you. Next question was, what do people say to you in the street? What do people say to you when you're being, when they see you in the street? I hope that's the question. We'll find out in a second.
Yeah, people say Geronimo to me a lot.
Yeah.
Draw it back to your old fruit, I say, and then, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I just love Matt Smith. Okay, again, we got a fan, we got a Normie, and we have a Karen. And yeah, you can see his affection. Matt Smith's genuine affection. Not love, like lifelong love for it, but his genuine affection for the role. And yeah, how much it means to. By the way, his apartment looks freaking awesome. Yeah, I don't know why they don't zoom in on it, but he's for sure has the. Maybe if let's zoom in a bit, I'm sure. Look at it. He for sure has the best looking apartment. Look at that. Let me just zoom down here. That's a nice looking place he's in. Isn't it? Blimey, now how to make this small again? Oh, God. Here we do this. And second. Ha ha! Look at that. Look at that professionalism you get from this channel. We don't mess around. And we're back. Okay, fine. So, yeah, people say Geronimo. He said Geronimo. Well, of course he is. It's your catchphrase.
Do you? Is that your style?
Yeah, but that's what's so nice about it, isn't it? That
Yeah, Jodie, what people say to you? Piss off. Resign. Resign. That's what they say to you.
generally Doctor Who fans are sort of really just welcoming and lovely and quite enthusiastic.
Well, we are up until the point that you take a dump on us and tell us you hate us. So, Matt Smith, we were always loving and welcoming to you. David Tennant, always loving and welcoming to you. Jodie, maybe don't be so kind of hateful to white men. Maybe, I don't know. And that maybe might make you a bit better as Doctor Who. I don't know. It's just, listen, you make your own acting decisions, which we're going to hear about her process later in this interview.
And they're not doing you. They're not sort of doing you.
It's true. It's a very nice show to be associated with because people
feel
fondly towards it, even if they're not
a
fan of it. They tend to feel fondly towards it,
unless they're a Karen,
as a sort of because it's unusual, I suppose, and it has so much kind of history and love attached to it that you get to bask in the reflected glory of that for a while.
Yeah, Whittaker did, and I think that's the only thing that she was really interested in the role, basking in the reflected glory, being a glorious, stunning, and brave woman, moving womankind forward in destroying another franchise. Well done, darling, well done.
And there's a lot of, you're not my favourite, but I really like it.
How often do you get
That is funny. That's funny. Like, what do you? I don't know. Here's my problem. I don't think I could really say it to any Doctor because they're all my favourite, apart from Joe. They're all my favourite. Whenever I'm watching at the time, they're my favourite. I love Matt Smith's Doctor. I really do. I love David Tennant. But it's so funny what people say. I guess because they get like flummoxed and scared. Yeah, you're meeting one of your heroes.
that would not, if I saw one, it was like someone.
You get things like, you're definitely in my top 5.
That's not good. 5 out of 13. No, well, I guess you're in the top 50%.
Kind of thinking.
Alright, so next question is what's it like handing the role of the Doctor on after you've been the Doctor for a while? So strangely enough, they start with Jodie. Do you think they're going to be making any more with her? Do you think? I don't know. I really don't know. It seems to me that the BBC, part of the BBC, really, really, really love their diversity and inclusion agenda. They really love it. It's really, really, really important to them, and they feel very stunning and brave in acting it. But it seems to me there's another part that really, really misses having ratings and being able to make money from side. So, that's the tension that we're really seeing. Finally, I think that's the tension we're also seeing in the Star Wars world. There's apparently a civil war going on in Lucasfilm between was it Kathleen Kennedy, another Karen, Kathleen Kennedy's camp, and Jon Favreau. So so I don't know. Are we going to see any more? I really don't know. Really, really don't know. I'm hoping not. Really, I'm hoping not because it's so bad. It's like the hatred for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor has died down in, I would say, the last month or so. You know why? Because people have forgotten how freaking bad it was. We're not talking about breaking canon and all that, just how boring it is, how dour, how preachy. People just forgotten what a bad time they had watching it. I think fandom was much more anti this era of Doctor Who while it was playing, which is why I've always said the worst thing for this era, the worst thing possible for this era is for them to make episodes and to air them. That's the worst thing they could do.
It's because I've never, cause I haven't handed on. So I'm still in that strange kind of floating space where I own it. And mean,
Okay, you don't own it. That's the problem. It's not yours. You're the custodian of it. You just had two other people tell you exactly the same thing. It's a weighty responsibility, and you're the custodian. You do not own it, right? You're just going to walk away and leave it in tatters. That's not ownership. That's vandalism.
I'm not kicked out of the club yet.
Oh, God. If we could, we would.
But I think for me, what feels, I suppose, the thing that I would say to the next person is that the pressure of the history of the show is totally made up in your own head.
No, it's not. It's not made up in your own bloody head. No. Are you out of your mind? No, the history of the show is that it has the weight of expectations. There are the millions of people who absolutely love it, who mean so much to them. Yeah, and it's incredibly real. It's not in your own head. Now, that's not to say you have to sleevelessly follow whatever was done before, but you have to find the characteristics of the character that have carried through from 1963 to 2017. Those characters, and the way you find it is exactly the way Matt Smith found it, by watching freaking Doctor Who. But you're a Karen. You don't want to watch Doctor Who because you don't like Doctor Who, which is so freaking obvious from your performance. It's so obvious from the entire production how much you just really don't like and don't care about Doctor Who.
On set, all the crew that have transitioned, or they're kind of excited and with you.
Did she say the entire production team is made up of people who are trans? Really? I think she's probably saying they transitioned from the previous production Doctor Who to this production Doctor. That would make sense, but I would believe the first one. I would believe the first interpretation.
To bring something new, because that is the beauty of this as a role, is that you're not supposed to be recreating what someone did. You're supposed to take it, but you don't. There's a lot of pressure and the kind of actor in a monologue that is there for a long time.
Okay, darling, you should have listened to it a little bit more. Yeah, you could take it and do something new, but taking it and do something new and having the Doctor be an utter buffoon who is a virtue signaler and an idiot. But of course, you don't know. You don't know that your Doctor is an idiot because you are an idiot. This is the conclusion I've come to. You're an idiot, which is why you don't realise you're playing the Doctor as an idiot. You think you're playing the Doctor as a normal person. You're not. You're playing the Doctor as an idiot because that's who you are.
But once, I suppose, you're in your costume and you are in your own Doctor's clothes and you've got your own friends in it, it feels, you in a weird way, all that pressure disappears because it's yours to play with.
It's not yours. It's not yours to play with. It's not yours. Listen, it's not a role where you can do absolutely anything. You can't, make the Doctor just speak through her gaping arsehole. Like, every time she talks to you, turns over, bends over, and opens her arse cheeks and talk. Really? You can't do anything with the Doctor. You know how I know you can't do anything with Doctor? Because of Jodie bloody Whittaker. Fine, what's the next question? I think the next question is still carries on, doesn't it? Let's have a look. Let's see the next thing.
You always know that's coming because you know what you're getting into, don't you?
But
there is still that weird bit because, like Jodie says, when you're in it, you're like, yeah, this is it. It's my TARDIS. It is quite weird that it carries.
Nobody wants your TARDIS, Jodie. Nobody wants to be in that. Oh God, that TARDIS is so awful. I can imagine saying that in the Paul McCann TARDIS, which is my hands down favourite TARDIS of all time.
Carries on without you, but you can, and I was there on Matt's first day. And of course, you're there and you're kind of and then Matt shows up and we sort of tail on, we have a photograph taken, and then I just walk off and they're all like, right, next. And then the cameras swing round to the next one. And there is a wee bit like, oh, I think for a second I felt indispensable, but, and I think that's, but then that's how that show works. And very quickly you just kind of, you just get, you become part of the history of it, and that's something to be very proud of, I think.
I've got
proud for you, isn't it? Because you basically built this show into what you and Rusty Davis, your era, basically built this show into the massive multinational conglomerate that it was, which then Jim Whittaker destroyed.
That picture, David, and I gave it to my granddad, and I just looked really. You're smiling at me as if to say, you've got no idea. And I look like I killed myself or something. I just look so nervous. The thing I miss, the one thing, I think we've talked about.
Oh god, this is really cringe.
David before. Like the one thing I miss is the Christmas special.
Yeah, me too, mate. We all really miss the Christmas special. Now I understand you do a festive special because you don't want to mention the word Christmas because that might be alluding to biblical values, which is clearly what you hate more than anything else in the world. You just can't say, you can't even say the word Christmas. And don't tell me that's not the reason that you stopped making the Christmas special. But I really miss them. I really miss them. They were a great institution that sadly is probably gone forever. It's so sad, but it probably is. This is one of the many bits of cultural vandalism that Whittaker and Chibnall have performed upon us.
Yes.
Christmas. You know, that's just fantastic, and it's always such a great story. But it's a great thing to pass on, isn't it?
You know, like Whittaker has no clue. Look at that face, no freaking clue that the Christmas special that we miss it. Look at that. She's like, well, Icky Thump, I do the I do a New Year's special. Same thing, isn't it? What's the difference? It's again, because she doesn't give a crap about or know anything about Doctor Who. It just seems to me to be pretty darn clear. I don't know, but as I said, the captain is the heart is the captain of the ship, and I just do not look at her very positively.
It's a great sort of gift to go. Good luck.
Yeah.
Be good, but not too good.
Yeah. Do well, ish. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, that worked out. I mean, listen, I can see Matt Smith saying that Capaldi's like, well, I guess I'm looking better now.
But it never, and also the truth is it never goes away. I mean...
Okay, I'm making a prediction. When Whittaker leaves, it's going to go away from her forever. There's no big finish happening. No one's clamoring to hear any more from her Doctor. When she goes away, she's gone. She's gone forever because nobody can. I truly believe that the vast majority of people who are fans of this era, who say they are fans of this era, are fans of the breaking of the glass ceiling, of the casting of a woman as a Doctor, of having have the diversity and inclusion quotas met, regardless that it means jettisoning the story as well. And I don't understand why those two things go together. I don't know, but I think as soon as she goes, they go. No one's interested. No one. I do not think that she's. I mean, they may wheel her out for like the 70th anniversary or something like that. But like, I doubt even they will, because if Doctor Who is going to carry on, she's just going to be reviled for all time. I mean, it's just. Listen, just the way I see it, mate.
Yeah. It's 15 years since I did it, and I'm here today.
Not only that, 15 years since you did it, you got you and Tom Baker have a release coming out in August, which I think is a thing that I am most excited about this year. And then they'll just announce 3 10th Doctor and River Song stories coming out. So, all this stuff. It never really went out. You can keep doing Doctor Who as long as you want. David, let me tell you something. You can actually keep doing Doctor Who now, and I think the ratings will go way up. Wouldn't that be fun? And what if Whittaker is paid the same as Tennant? That would make no sense to me. Really, that would really make no sense.
What goes away? Yeah, and it can take it. It's got that kind of format that can take endless invention, and nothing's wrong. Nothing's sort of.
Well, I thought that before Whittaker. Yeah, I did think that. I kind of agreed with you up until a couple of years ago, and then it just seems to be like doing a dour preachy. Doctor who's a moron and a virtue singer. That really didn't work out at all. Who knew?
If the writing's good, it doesn't. It just adds to the texture of this extraordinary world.
If the writing's good. Aha. Do you think this is like him doing a subtle nudge to her, or I don't think so. I just think this is him talking naturally, and it just has to be everything he says is right. And puts Whittaker and Chibnall to shame. I think that's pretty much more likely, don't you?
Yeah. Universe.
Okay, fine. So we're talking about David Tennant has a TARDIS in his garden. People saw in his in the thing stage, which I've really got to watch. I haven't read it. I haven't watched it yet. So they ask what mementos they have from Doctor Who.
I mean, that's probably it. It was, and it's not a real one. We didn't like nick it off the set or anything. It's not like Stephen Moffat. You go to his house, it's full of actual stuff, actual booty, like real TARDISes and real weeping angels and things. That's what
I so believe every part of that. I so believe he did that because he loves Doctor Who.
my kids' step granddad made, because my kids got very into it briefly, and then they moved on, like the fickle heartbreakers that they are.
I have to tell you, it's really sad that my kids sad for me anyway. I really enjoyed watching Doctor Who with my kids when they were younger. They were kind of interested in Peter Capaldi, but he was just too old to connect with them. And for me, it was great, but like less than zero interest in watching Jodie. I don't know anybody who has any interest in watching Jodie. I really don't.
So while they were into it, they got a TARDIS built for them, which is now just over there in our back garden. Yeah.
So wait, it was built by the granddad. Is that Peter Davison's father built them a TARDIS? Do you think that happened? I don't know. This is his second marriage. I really would that be bizarre?
You're in your TARDIS right now. That's the backdrop that we see.
Okay, idiot. The outside of the TARDIS is blue. The inside is, well, used to be white, cream, whatever. But it's not blue on the inside, idiot.
Right.
I've colour coordinated here. I've got. I know, it's quite.
You've got blue and green.
I've got like. I've got quite a few Funko Pops. I think I was supposed to sign them and hand them on, but I think they're quite cute. So I just kept...
Really? There was a commercial venture. Somebody you were supposed to sign them so people can sell them. And I guarantee you, they're worth a lot less now than they were in 2018. If you did actually do your job and you signed them and let them sell them, they would have been quite valuable. Now, I can't imagine that many people want to buy. I think the value of them has gone down quite a lot. But I think they're kind of cute, so I kept them for myself. You couldn't go and buy your own?
But it is a bit weird, like, a toy of me. Slightly borders on narcissism, I think.
It doesn't border on narcissism, it is narcissism, and believe me, that's why you kept it, because it's a toy of me. Have you ever heard Jodie Whittaker prepare for to do a voice exercise? It's basically going me.
Yeah.
I've got 2 Cybermen there. Can you see?
Now, I've got to ask them a question. At no point in this interview, what the hell's going on over here? Wait, let's zoom in here. What's she doing? She looks like she's in a production of the porn version of The Invisible Man to me. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Ugh, probably said too much. But why do they not show? Let me see if I can make it a bit bigger. He says he's got 2 Cybermen heads there. I can't see him for love nor money. I can't see him at all. I guess he says Cybermen. I'm sure he's talking about Cybermen heads. But yeah, again, I just love how much he's a normie and how much he loves Doctor Who. It's really fun to watch.
Amazing.
Amazing.
On the top of the
Yeah, can you see them? Proper, real ones. Actual, not like candy ones.
I love the way he says real ones. Again, people put a lot of themselves into the Doctor, and his Doctor is not a million miles away from him.
They got stamps on the back.
It was a parting gift actually.
Oh,
I wonder from who. I wish I could see which Cybermen it was. I guess it'll be what's the ones? The Aegis still. Oh no, what they had. What was it? The Nightmare in Silver had the new design. Maybe it is. I would know, but for some reason they don't zoom into Matt Smith at all through this entire interview, which is not very well edited. I noticed that when I was editing it down myself. It's not very well edited at all.
Are the Cybermen your favorite Doctor Who villains? Do you have any particular affection for this?
I wonder what whose favorite villains are. I'll be kind of intrigued to hear that.
I do like them.
Yeah.
I like them too. So the next question is, which episode of Doctor Who defines your era, your tenure as a Doctor? Which I thought actually that was actually a pretty darn good question.
I've got less to choose from, but I'd say...
Yeah, we're still too many.
I still always feel that it's my first episode. I think it's...
Yeah, that's probably your least awful episode. It really is. It's the episode where we couldn't tell how terrible you would be I mean, I don't know. Like, I think you should have done an episode which is more indicative of your era, like Spyfall Part 2. You know, anything when you have you running like a duck in it. I think that's something that we really all expect to see from your era.
An incredible way to jump into this adventure for me personally. Like the way the character enters through the train, but also continues in Peter's Doctor costume throughout, and then not until the end does, I suppose, my Doctor arrive.
You know, that would have been good. Just there's one element. Actually, there's two elements. Now, in that first episode, there's one element that really is a bit of a problem. And it's that you are shit. You are awful in the freaking role. You are terrible. Yeah, even in that one, when you can't really tell how bad you're going to be, you're still pretty bad.
And in that, we've met the family as well. And I feel
the fam.
Feel like emotionally, that's the episode for me that is at this point the most special as well.
Matt, how about for you?
I would say again, probably the first one, the 11th hour.
I have to tell you again, the captain, the heart is the captain of the ship. He's saying exactly the same thing, but I agree with him wholeheartedly. I think the 11th hour is so indicative of the 11th Doctor. It was a really, really, really great episode. Really kept rattling all the way through. I think it was a much clever episode. I mean, if you compare 11th hour to Woman Who Fell to Earth, wow. You're going to see such an incredible changing quality. It'd be breathtaking.
Because I sort of remember the weird pressure of filming it and my sense of memory when I watch it. You know, I was what we achieved, me and Karen and Arthur, and the sort of just the anxiety of doing it. But actually, and I thought it was a wonderful way to meet a companion. And I just, you know,
that was a wonderful way to meet a companion. That had never been done before. You know, that he meets Amy as a young child and then screws her up massively and meets her 15 years later, however old it is. And like basically his entire tenure was about dealing with that. It was a really, really clever idea for a companion. I tell you, I think his first season is probably one of the best seasons of Doctor Who that's ever been. It's really up there.
I have very happy memories of that particular time.
Of watching it.
How about you, David?
I say he gives the perfect fan answer because he is a fan.
I really have a sort of. I feel it's wrong to choose ones out because I have such vivid memories. It's unlike doing any other type of series where one episode sort of bleeds into another, because every Doctor Who story is so specific and different with a different cast and a different set and a different world. I feel quite disloyal if I choose any as a favourite or as a preferred one. So I can't.
You know, I feel the same way. I really do. When people ask me what's my favourite episode, who's my favourite Doctor, I'm like, well, I can't say Peter Davison because I feel bad for Tom Baker and everybody. You know, it's like that's why when anybody asks me who's my favourite Doctor, it's whatever I'm watching at the time is pretty much the answer, and that basically means it's never Jodie Whittaker because I never ever go back and watch her because oh god, it's so bad, it's so torturous.
Kind of have an instinctive aversion to doing it, really.
So, what's the next question is, which companion from another Doctor would you want to work with? Now, I thought Tennant was going to go for Jamie McCrimmon. Gives a even better answer, if you don't mind me saying so.
Let's take
Rose, because it's Billy and she's my
yeah, okay, so we got the Normie and we have the Karen. They're going to go for people who they know.
best pal, and it would be great to work with Billy, and, you know, I love her. So, Rose Tyler. Me.
Can I just point out again how much I love his apartment? And it's just freaking awesome. I'm going to zoom in again. That is a great apartment he's got. Let's look at that. I love that window. Is that like kind of a church window or something? But that is a nice place. I want to see more of Matt Smith's apartment. Okay, I want to see less of. Where do I go? I want to see more of Matt Smith's apartment. Let's do a better Homes and Garden episode from former Doctors. I'd love to see Tom Baker's place. I bet that's pretty. He lives in this cottage in England somewhere.
I'd say Rory for the same reason as I've worked with Darvill.
Yeah, that's how you got cast. Chibnall knew you, and you're number 2 on the list.
It just makes me laugh so much. That I just think, because you know what, we know how long the hours and the days are and the months, so it's like gotta be a laugh, guys. It's gotta be a laugh.
Yeah, listen, I want to point out, Jodie, you're doing so much less work than everybody else who's done the role. So much less episodes, so fewer episodes. And oh God, you can't get through one episode without complaining about it. Yeah, I understand. You gotta have a laugh. Maybe you want to do some bloody work at the same time.
Oh man, that's tricky, isn't it?
I can highly recommend 3 Glorious.
I would choose Nicholas Courtney, who was the Brigadier.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, and then we're going to come a little bit of news. But look, David, you're doing a lot of Big Finish right now. Get him to get you in the studio with John Carter. His Brigadier is freaking perfect. His Brigadier is perfect. And I'd love to hear your Doctor with it. I'd actually like to hear a box set, like a box set, a 3 or 4 disc box set of the 10th Doctor going on some adventure with the Brigadier throughout time. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I would love that.
Only because I was meant to do a story with him.
That's as heartbreaking this is.
And the very last thing I did in Doctor Who was actually an episode of the Sarah Jane Adventures, which would Sarah Jane, who was the companion I'd grown up with, but I already worked with her. And Nicholas Courtney as the Brigadier was going to be in it too. And at the last minute, he was too ill to come and be part of it. And it was not long before he unfortunately passed away. And I still feel very sad that never happened. So he would be mine.
So the next question is, what would you say to new viewers who have not seen Doctor Who before and are about to experience it for the first time on HBO Max? They do mention HBO Max quite a lot in this. And again, HBO Max, I like your act with the audience. You're really, really working to please the audience, which is smart, and I love it. I want to see more of that. I just wish somebody told you, firstly, I wish you had a little bit more creative control over Doctor Who, and maybe, you could insist on maybe recasting and finding a new showrunner. By the way, I'm going to talk about this more tonight on my live stream at 5 o'clock. You know who the perfect new star and showrunner for Doctor Who is? I thought about this last night while having a particularly good bowel movement. It was like, that's when I get my my best ideas. Noel Clarke, who played Mickey, great writer, is a fresh voice, and his skin color is the prescribed right one for British TV right now, But I know he's got an affection for Doctor Who. He was in Doctor Who. I think he probably understands who to talk to understand it. He's a good writer. He is a good writer. I'd like to see the direction he takes the show in. And look, let's be honest with you. I mean, it's getting a tiny bit weird now. There hasn't been a Black Doctor, isn't it? It's like, really? I really thought Patterson Joseph would be the Doctor instead of Matt Smith. But I'm so happy for Matt Smith's run, which was so nice. But yeah, that would be my my suggestion. So here, let's go back to this question. What they're going to say to people who experience Doctor Who for the first time on HBO Max?
So I can answer.
Go on.
Perfect.
Well, I'd say Grace O'Brien is played by.
I mean, she was now still talking about people they would like to bring back. She's talking about Grace, Graham's wife. I say, look, Graham's grief was the only really good part of season 11, and I guess she's just doing it to plug her season a bit because it's on HBO Max. They want to stream it more.
Andy Clark, because she's absolutely incredible, and also the fact that she was snatched away too soon.
And of course, she doesn't know anybody else to bring back. She knows nothing about Dr. Freaking Who.
Really emotional, and but yeah, and I feel like that's someone that's a character the Doctor didn't get to spend enough time with.
I'd bring back William Hartnell.
Now again, is this a diss over the Timeless Children, or is this just him genuinely? Who knows? But two things could be true. It could just be him giving an obvious answer, the answer that he truly believes in, which also just happens to be a diss for Whittaker here,
who played the first.
Although Whittaker has no clue, it would be a diss because she has no clue about Doctor Who.
First Doctor in 1963, and I'd bring him back and go, look at this, look, still going. We're all still here.
I love that bit in Adventure in Time and Space when the Hartnell, was it Dave Bradley playing William Hartnell, is doing the regeneration scene, and he looks over the console, and you see Matt Smith there. Oh my God, I don't know anybody. Well, I know lots of people actually. I don't know any real Doctor Who fan who doesn't tear up at that. It was absolutely beautiful. Well, wouldn't it be great to see his face? Wouldn't that be great to see his face? To see, the incredible thing. I'm sure he'll be delighted. I'm sure he'll be delighted. And in the same breath, I'm sure Whittaker's going to forget this ever happened 2 weeks after it's over.
I bring back. I can't remember her name, David. Who did Lindsay Duncan play in the Mars episode? Adelaide, because I love Lindsay Duncan, and I just think she's best.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. So I probably think her.
What a treat to know.
Okay, so now we're asking the question: what would you say to new viewers of HBO Max who have never seen Doctor Who before? What are they about to experience? Let me just wind this back 1 second, see if I can.
I probably think her.
What a treat to never have seen Doctor Who and get to watch it now. What a treat!
That's totally would be. But yes, again, Doctor Who fan, you could just see his love for Doctor Who. And yeah, I would say the same thing. Something about again Doctor Who. I'm so excited for them. Gary from DREDD just started watching Blake 7. I'm just so excited for him. It's great.
I'd love that. I'd love to come and watch it the first time ever.
Yeah. You need to book off about a month of your life. We're going to get back and then go in, and then it becomes your friend, and then you start watching it and you get hooked up in all these different theories, and it's just good luck.
Yeah, and like obviously in real time you've got to wait to see who's in.
Okay, so this is explaining why she has no idea about Doctor Who again. She's saying one of the hardest bits about watching Doctor Who is waiting from the to hear who's going to be announced as the new Doctor. Not really such a big deal. I understand that was the best part for you. That was the best part being Doctor Who for you, being announced. And I think it went really quickly downhill shortly after it aired, right? I think it went really downhill very, very, very quickly for you.
Announced as the next Doctor and the kind of fan anxiety that's around that. Whereas with this, it's like just there. I mean,
so you're saying the fans don't need to worry going in waiting for the new Doctor if they're going to be crap or not, because they already know. We already know, darling. You're crap.
It's a matter of seconds from click to click to be able to.
It's even quicker if you skip her episodes.
Jump between. So I think it's endless adventures, really.
I know.
Max.
Matt Smith, just to get another mention of HBO Max in there. You can do it on HBO Max. The final question is: can you tell us anything about the festive special, which shows that Jodie, the interviewer, and probably David Tennant as well, but at least Jodie, an interviewer, don't know anything about Doctor Who. I mean, really? Can she not just wear a hat saying, I don't know anything about Doctor Who? And we wouldn't have to go through this all over and over again. Oh, just over a minute to go.
No. But
okay, she can't tell anything about the Christmas special because the Christmas specials don't exist. But she can't tell you anything about the festive special. But apart from the thing that was announced, about 2 months ago? Wait a minute. It was more than 6 months ago. She's going to announce something that was announced 6 months ago, and she's not sure she can announce it.
I think I'm allowed to say what it's called.
Okay, it was on screen! It was on screen! It was at the end of the season, it'll be February, so it's been, 4 months. It was on screen! The name of it, yes, of course. Something that was announced 4 months ago. This was before the pandemic, okay? Do you not recall? Probably not.
I'm just going to check. I'm allowed. I'm going to say it anyway. I do not say or do say. But
So she's not sure if her thing says she can say or she can't say something that was announced months ago. And meanwhile, David Tennant is telling you the character names of people who was in one episode with him 15 bloody years ago. You can't remember a name of an upcoming episode that was announced 4 months ago.
I'll call it Revolution of Dalek.
No, it's not. It's Revolution of the Daleks, isn't it? I thought it was. No, never listen to Dalek because you're an idiot. You're a Karen and you have no idea about Doctor Who. Like, really, Oscar Wilde, I think, was the person who said it's better to keep your mouth shut and think everybody think you're a fool than to open it and remove all doubt.
can't believe you read it, Jodie. I can't believe we told everyone.
That might give a hint.
Not to the interviewer, who still is completely in the dark about what the episode. So I think Jodie, you should keep this interviewer around with you because she's the person who can make you look smarter. Which I tell you, there are not many of those around, are there?
I mean, there's a bit of a hint in it.
Well, the hint was you got the name wrong. Daleks. Unless it's Revolution of the Daleks, then I'm going to really look stupid. But I'm pretty sure it's Revolution of the Daleks.
But that's all I can say. Or it said, don't say it. Right there.
Revolutionary War. That's the hint, right? That's
No, Revolution of the Dalek.
No, I know.
I can look at Dalek. And look how she said it. I'm bloody stupid. So yeah, okay. I think we're done. I think we're done. You can't even promote the name of your upcoming festive special. God forbid you'll do a Christmas special. Can't even do that. Oh my God. It's agony. So far, we'll talk about this a bit more tonight. My live stream. Draw me at 5 o'clock UK time on noon on the East Coast. I guess it'll be 9 on the West Coast of America. And we'll be talking about all kinds of things. We're talking about J.J. Abrams' plan to save America from racism. That's good. I wonder if it's going to work out his plan to save Star Trek and Star Wars. Probably would be my guess. We'll be talking more about this. We're talking about David Tennant and the River song stories that are coming out. Talking about all kinds of things. My name is Sheila Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.